I'd challenged my husband to live as a woman for a day. His family disowned us, tried to sue us, and we uncovered dark family secrets. I'm Sophia, 32F, and I've been married to Alex, 35M, for 5 years now. We've always had a great relationship, but lately things have been different. It all started when I decided to embrace a more natural look during the pandemic lockdowns. Like many women, I realized I didn't need to spend hours on makeup and hairstyling just to feel good about myself. Before the pandemic, I was always dressed to impress. I'd spend at least an hour every morning doing my makeup, styling my hair, and picking out the perfect outfit. Even for a quick run to the grocery store, I'd make sure I looked like I stepped out of a fashion magazine. My husband loved it, always complimenting how put together I looked. But as the lockdown stretched on, I found myself enjoying the freedom of not having to maintain that image constantly. I started going makeup-free more often, letting my natural curls do their thing instead of straightening my hair every day and opting for comfortable clothes over fashionable ones. At first, Alex didn't say much about it, but as restrictions eased and we started going out more, he began making comments. He'd ask if I was going to get ready before we left the house, even if we were just grabbing coffee. When I'd say I was ready, he'd look disappointed. Things came to a head last month when we were invited to his company's summer barbecue. I put on a cute sundress and some light makeup, thinking it was appropriate for a casual outdoor event. But when I came downstairs, Alex looked at me like I'd grown a second head. "Are you really wearing that?" he asked, frowning. "Everyone from work will be there. Don't you want to look nice?" I was hurt and angry. I told him I thought I did look nice and that it was a barbecue, not a black tie gala. He insisted that I should put in more effort and that he was embarrassed to be seen with me looking so sloppy. That's when I snapped. I challenged him to spend just one day going through my old beauty routine. If he still thought it was no big deal after that, I'd go back to my old ways without complaint. To my surprise, he agreed. The next Saturday, I woke him up at 6 a.m. to start the process. First, we spent 30 minutes on a skincare routine: cleansing, toning, serums, moisturizer, and sunscreen. Then came the makeup. I didn't go full glam, but I did a natural look that still took 45 minutes. Foundation, concealer, powder, blush, eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara, and lipstick. Next was hair. Alex has short hair, so I made him wear a wig similar to my old hairstyle. We spent an hour washing, drying, and styling it into perfect waves. By this point, he was already complaining about how long everything was taking. But we weren't done yet. I had him put on shapewear, a push-up bra, stuff to simulate breasts, and a fitted dress with heels. The final touch was a spritz of perfume and some jewelry. By the time we finished, it was nearly 9 a.m. Alex looked exhausted and uncomfortable. I told him this was just the beginning. Now he had to maintain this look all day, including touch-ups. We went about our day, running errands and meeting friends for lunch. Alex struggled with the heels, constantly adjusting the wig and worrying about his makeup smudging. By dinner time, he was begging to take it all off. When we finally got home and he could remove everything, Alex looked at me with new eyes. He apologized profusely, admitting he had no idea how much work and discomfort went into maintaining the image he expected. He promised to never pressure me about my appearance again. I thought that was the end of it. But then Alex's sister Megan, 29F, came to visit last week. She noticed I wasn't as done up as usual and made a few snide comments. To my surprise, Alex jumped to my defense, explaining how he'd learned to appreciate natural beauty and how unrealistic beauty standards can be harmful. Megan didn't take this well. She told Alex he was whipped and that I was letting myself go. She even suggested that Alex should be worried about me cheating, because a woman who stops trying to look good for her husband is looking for attention elsewhere. I was furious, but before I could say anything, Alex calmly told Megan that she was being ridiculous and hurtful. He said he loved me for who I am, not how I look, and that if she couldn't respect that, she wasn't welcome in our home. Megan stormed out, and I thought that would be the end of it. But now Alex's parents are involved. His mom keeps calling, telling me I'm not fulfilling my wifely duties by not maintaining my appearance. His dad is pressuring Alex to man up and put me in my place. Alex is standing firm, defending me and our choices, but the constant barrage from his family is starting to wear on both of us. I'm proud of how far Alex has come in understanding and supporting me, but I'm worried about the strain this is putting on his relationship with his family. Did I go too far with my experiment? Should I just go back to my old routines to keep the peace? Or do we stand our ground and risk alienating his entire family? Update 1. It's been about a month since my last post, and things have escalated. I want to thank everyone for their supportive comments and advice. It really helped Alex and me feel more confident in our decisions. After the blow-up with Megan and the ongoing harassment from Alex's parents, we decided to take a step back and limit contact for a while. We sent a joint email explaining that we needed some space and would reach out when we were ready to talk. We thought this would give everyone time to cool off and reflect. Boy, were we wrong. Last weekend was Alex's dad's 60th birthday. We had initially planned to skip it due to all the drama, but Alex's younger brother Charlie, 27M, called and begged us to come. He said their parents were making the whole celebration about our rebellion and ruining the mood for everyone. Charlie thought if we showed up, it might diffuse the situation. Against our better judgment, we agreed. I spent a little more time on my appearance than usual. Not a full face of makeup, but some mascara and lip gloss. And I styled my hair. I wore a nice dress that I felt comfortable in. Alex assured me I looked beautiful and that we were doing the right thing by attending. When we arrived at the restaurant, the tension was palpable. Alex's mom, Linda, 58F, took one look at me and scoffed. "Oh, I see you managed to put in some effort for once," she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. I was about to respond when Alex's dad, Tom, 60M, cut in. Now, let's not start anything. We're here to celebrate my birthday, remember? For a while, things were awkward but civil. We made small talk, ordered our food, and tried to keep the conversation light. But as the evening wore on and the wine flowed, the gloves came off. It started with Linda making backhanded compliments about my appearance. "Oh, Sophia, that dress is so comfortable looking. It's brave of you to wear something so casual to a nice restaurant." I bit my tongue, not wanting to cause a scene. But then Tom joined in. "You know, son," he said to Alex, "when I was your age, I wouldn't have let my wife leave the house looking like that. A man needs to take charge in his household." Alex tensed beside me. "Dad, we've talked about this. Sophia and I are happy with our choices. Can we please drop it?" But they wouldn't drop it. Linda launched into a tirade about how I was corrupting her son, turning him into a spineless pushover. She brought up old girlfriends of Alex's, wondering aloud why he couldn't have ended up with one of them instead. I'd had enough. I stood up, my chair scraping loudly against the floor. "I think it's time for us to leave," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Clearly, we're not welcome here." That's when all hell broke loose. Linda stood up too, pointing her finger in my face. "You ungrateful little witch. How dare you ruin my husband's birthday dinner? This is all your fault." The entire restaurant was staring at us now. Alex tried to intervene, but his mom shoved him aside. And then, in a move I still can't believe actually happened, she picked up her glass of red wine and threw it in my face. I stood there, dripping and stunned, as chaos erupted around me. Alex was yelling at his mom. Tom was trying to restrain Linda, and Charlie was apologizing profusely to the restaurant staff. Megan, who had been mostly quiet until then, started laughing hysterically. We left in a hurry, with Linda's shrieks following us out the door. "Don't you ever show your face in this family again?" she screamed. The car ride home was silent. When we got back, Alex helped me clean up and change clothes. Then we sat on the couch, both of us in shock. "I'm so sorry," Alex said, his voice breaking. "I never thought I can't believe—" I hugged him tight, feeling his body shake with suppressed sobs. "It's not your fault," I told him. "We're in this together, remember?" We spent the rest of the night talking about what to do next. we've decided to go completely no contact with his parents and Megan for the foreseeable future. Charlie called to apologize again and said he understands if we need space from him too, but we told him he's welcome to visit anytime. Alex is devastated but resolute. He says he chooses me and our life together over their toxic expectations. I'm proud of him, but I can't help feeling guilty. Is this really all my fault? Should I have just played along to keep the peace? We're taking some time to regroup and figure out our next steps. Alex is considering therapy to deal with the fallout from his family's behavior. I'm trying to be supportive while also processing my own feelings about the whole situation. I'll update again when we've had some time to sort things out. For now, we're just trying to take it one day at a time. Update 2. It's been 2 months since the disastrous birthday dinner, and I wanted to give you all an update on our situation. First off, thank you so much for all your supportive comments and messages. They've really helped us get through this difficult time. After going no contact with Alex's parents and Megan, we've had a chance to catch our breath and reflect on everything that's happened. Alex has been seeing a therapist to work through his feelings about his family's behavior, and it's been really helpful for him. He's starting to understand how toxic their expectations were and how much pressure he was under to conform to their ideas of success. We've maintained contact with Charlie, who's been incredibly supportive. He's been keeping us updated on the family drama, against our wishes, but we appreciate his intentions. Apparently, Linda and Tom have been telling everyone who will listen that I've brainwashed Alex and turned him against the family. Megan has been backing them up, painting herself as the concerned sister trying to save her brother from my evil clutches. About 3 weeks ago, we received a thick envelope in the mail. It was from Tom and Linda's lawyer. They were threatening to sue us for alienation of affection and demanding that Alex repay them for his college tuition and various other expenses from his childhood and young adulthood. The letter was full of legalese, but the message was clear. Fall back in line, or we'll make your lives miserable. Alex was devastated. He couldn't believe his parents would go this far. We consulted with a lawyer of our own who assured us that their threats were baseless and likely just an intimidation tactic. Still, the idea that we might have to fight a legal battle against his own parents was almost too much for Alex to bear. Then, last week, something unexpected happened. Charlie called us in a panic. He had overheard Linda and Tom discussing their plan to teach us a lesson. Apparently, they were going to show up at our house unannounced, with Megan and a family therapist in tow, to stage an intervention for Alex. They were convinced that if they could just get him away from me, they could make him see reason. Charlie warned us because he was worried things might get physical. He knew Linda was still furious about the wine incident and had been making vague threats about showing that girl what's what. We were shocked and scared. We decided to be proactive. We called the police non-emergency line and explained the situation. They advised us to document everything and call 911 if Alex's family showed up and refused to leave. We also decided to install security cameras around our property, just in case. It felt extreme, but we wanted to be prepared for anything. Sure enough, 2 days ago, they showed up. Linda, Tom, Megan, and a nervous-looking man who we assume was the therapist they'd roped into this scheme. Our doorbell camera caught Linda's rant as she pounded on our door. "Alexander James Thompson, you open this door right now. We're here to help you. That woman has poisoned your mind and we're going to fix this." We didn't respond. We had already decided that engaging would only make things worse. They kept at it for almost an hour, alternating between pleading, threats, and insults. Megan tried to peer through our windows. Tom attempted to use his old key, which thankfully we had changed after the birthday incident. Finally, one of our neighbors called the police. When the officers arrived, Linda tried to convince them that we were holding Alex against his will. The officers, whom we had already spoken to, weren't buying it. We watched on the cameras as the police explained that they needed to leave our property immediately, or face trespassing charges. Linda exploded, screaming about ungrateful children and threatening to disown Alex. Tom had to physically restrain her from trying to charge at our door one last time. As they were leaving, Megan looked directly at one of our cameras and mouthed, "This isn't over." We're shaken but standing firm. Alex is hurt and angry, but also relieved that we had prepared and handled the situation calmly. We're discussing getting a restraining order, just in case they try something like this again. Charlie called to apologize for not warning us sooner and to let us know he's officially moving out of their house. He can't stand to be around them anymore after witnessing their behavior. We're taking it day by day. Alex is continuing with therapy, and we're focusing on building our life together without the toxic influence of his family. It's hard, and there are days when we both feel overwhelmed by the situation. But we're committed to supporting each other through this. I'll update again if anything significant happens. For now, we're just trying to heal and move forward. Update 3. It's been 6 months since my last update, and I wanted to share some developments in our ongoing family drama saga. First, the good news. Alex and I are doing really well. His therapy has been incredibly helpful, and we've grown even closer through all of this turmoil. We've also grown closer to Charlie, who's become a true ally and friend. He's been staying with us while he looks for his own place, and it's been great having his support. Now, for the not-so-good news. Despite our best efforts to maintain no contact, Alex's family has continued their campaign against us. They've escalated from personal attacks to trying to harm us professionally. About 2 months ago, Alex's company started receiving daily calls and emails from Linda, claiming that I was emotionally abusing Alex and that his work performance was suffering as a result. She demanded that they stage a workplace intervention or fire Alex for his own good. Thankfully, Alex has a great relationship with his boss and coworkers. They recognize the calls for what they were, harassment, and have been incredibly supportive. The company's HR department has blocked Linda's number and email address, and they've assured Alex that his job is not in jeopardy. Unfortunately, my workplace wasn't so understanding at first. I'm a teacher, and somehow Linda got hold of my principal's contact information. She sent a lengthy email detailing how I was an unfit role model for children because I didn't take pride in my appearance. She even went so far as to suggest I might be on drugs because of my drastic change in behavior. My principal called me in for a meeting, and for a terrifying moment, I thought I might lose my job. But once I explained the situation and showed him the police reports and other documentation we'd gathered, he was much more sympathetic. The school has now blocked communication from Linda as well. Then, about a month ago, we received notice that Linda and Tom were indeed suing us. Not for alienation of affection, as they had originally threatened, but for theft. They claim that when Alex left their house after college, he took several valuable family heirlooms that they want returned. The items they listed don't even exist. It's all a fabrication to drag us into court. Our lawyer assures us that the case has no merit and will likely be thrown out, but we still have to go through the stress and expense of fighting it. We're countersuing for harassment, using all the evidence we've gathered over the past months. The most recent development happened just last week. We were at the grocery store when we ran into Megan. I tensed up, expecting another confrontation, but to our surprise, she burst into tears. Between sobs, she confessed that she'd been going along with Linda and Tom's schemes because she was afraid of being cut off like Alex. She said she never really had a problem with me or our choices, but felt pressured to take their side. Megan apologized for her behavior and asked if we could talk. Alex and I were skeptical at first, but we agreed to meet her for coffee a few days later. During that meeting, Megan shared some shocking information. Apparently, Linda and Tom's obsession with status and appearance goes way back. She told us stories from their childhood that made Alex realize just how manipulated he'd been his whole life. The most surprising revelation was about Alex's oldest sister, Emma, 38F, whom we'd never met. According to Megan, Emma had been disowned by the family over a decade ago for similar reasons to our current situation. She had chosen to pursue a career in social work instead of the high-powered corporate job Linda and Tom wanted for her, and had married a man they deemed beneath their status. We were floored. Alex had always been told that Emma had cut contact with the family voluntarily. Finding out that there was another sibling out there who had gone through something similar was both upsetting and weirdly comforting. Megan gave us Emma's contact information, and after much discussion, Alex decided to reach out. They've been talking regularly for the past week, sharing experiences and supporting each other. Emma has been an incredible source of advice and understanding, having gone through the process of separating from their toxic parents years ago. As for Megan, we're cautiously building a relationship with her. She started therapy herself and is making plans to move out of Linda and Tom's house. It's a slow process, and we're still wary, but it feels like a positive step. We're still dealing with the lawsuit and the occasional harassment attempts from Linda and Tom, but we feel stronger and more united than ever. Alex, Charlie, and Megan are all in therapy, working through their childhood issues and learning to set healthy boundaries. I'm so proud of how far they've all come. As for me, I'm continuing to be myself, dressing and presenting myself in ways that make me comfortable. This whole ordeal has only reinforced my belief that true love and family accept you for who you are, not what you look like or what you can do for them. We don't know what the future holds, but we're facing it together. Thank you all for your support throughout this crazy journey. If there are any major developments, I'll be sure to update again.